Breaking news from Israel. The office of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the Prime Minister went on a secret visit to the United Arab Emirates and met with the president of the UAE.
This is an issue that captures attention and continues to dominate headlines no matter how many times it is discussed. The Prime Minister of Israel, who is widely viewed by many Muslims as anti-Muslim, was reported to have made a secret visit to the United Arab Emirates UAE. Such news naturally created major controversy and was treated as breaking news. However, the situation became even more confusing when the UAE denied the reports and stated that the Israeli Prime Minister had not visited the country, calling the statements coming from Jerusalem false. This has sparked intense debate about where the truth actually lies. Why would the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announce the visit publicly, while the government of Mohammed bin Zayed quickly denied it? Was the UAE truly rejecting the claim, or was it trying to hide an already existing cooperation? This was not the first contact between the two countries. About 5 years earlier, former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett visited Abu Dhabi and openly met with Emirati leaders. The bigger question, therefore, became, why deny Netanyahu's alleged visit now? The discussion became even more significant because of the ongoing conflict involving Iran. Since the end of February, during the war connected to Iran, the UAE reportedly suffered heavy attacks. Yet countries such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, the Arab League, and even the Gulf Cooperation Council were largely silent. According to the reports, the country that actually came to defend the UAE was Israel, through the deployment of its Iron Dome missile defense system. This information shocked many observers. Israel, which has historically deployed military power inside Arab regions mainly against Arab governments or armed groups, was now reportedly defending an Arab country from external attack. Analysts say this demonstrates how deeply the relationship between Israel and the UAE has evolved. According to reports, Iranian missile and drone attacks caused serious fear and economic losses in the UAE due by hotels that were usually crowded with tourists reportedly operated at only a fraction of their capacity. Tens of thousands of airline bookings were canceled, and billions of dollars in economic losses were recorded in just weeks. Civilians were also reportedly killed and injured. Observers argue that the UAE's growing security concerns pushed it closer to Israel. Israel allegedly sent not only the Iron Dome defense system, but also military personnel and specialists to operate it inside the UAE. If true, this would mark the first time Israel deployed such a sensitive defense system outside its borders and inside an Arab country. This military cooperation is considered historic because Israel has traditionally been very protective of its advanced defense technologies. Even countries that sought to purchase Iron Dome systems previously were reportedly denied access. Yet for the UAE, Israel was allegedly willing to provide both the system and trained operators. The conflict also appears to have strengthened political and strategic ties between Abu Dhabi and Tel Aviv. Israeli officials reportedly stated that the war created an unprecedented level of closeness between the two countries because both faced a common enemy. The roots of the relationship go back to the Abraham Accords of 2020. Brokered by the United States under President Donald Trump, the agreement normalized diplomatic relations between Israel and several Arab countries, including the UAE. Embassies were opened, direct flights began, and economic cooperation in technology, tourism, energy, and investment rapidly expanded. Since then, thousands of Israeli tourists and investors have traveled to Dubai, while companies from both countries signed major agreements. Despite tensions during the Gaza war, the UAE did not withdraw its ambassador from Tel Aviv, which many analysts interpret as proof that Abu Dhabi remains committed to its relationship with Israel. May 17, 2026, 8:24 a.m. Still, public opinion in the Arab and Muslim world remains strongly opposed to Israel. especially because of the war in Gaza and accusations of war crimes against Palestinians. Analysts believe this explains why the UAE may prefer to keep some forms of cooperation secret or unofficial. Even while maintaining close ties behind the scenes, some experts also argue that Netanyahu's office publicized the visit for domestic political reasons. Facing political pressure at home, Netanyahu may have wanted to present himself as a powerful regional leader capable of building alliances in the Middle East. Publicizing a relationship with the UAE could strengthen his image among supporters. At the same time, Emirati officials may have feared public backlash or further escalation with Iran if the visit were openly acknowledged. Iran's foreign ministry warned that countries cooperating with Israel would be held accountable, although it did not specifically name the UAE. In the end, the controversy highlights how dramatically Middle Eastern politics are changing. Countries that were once bitter enemies are now forming partnerships based on security, technology, economics, and shared strategic interests. Yet these alliances remain politically sensitive, forcing leaders to balance cooperation with secrecy.